Hello everyone, my name is Moriatis, and today I'm starting a show for everyone who's seen crazy, weird, and just creepy stuff that's not supposed to be in video games. And today is my story about Pokemon Leaf Green, so without further ado, let's just start this up. No, this is off topic, but I have to talk about it. No one in my neighborhood, like no one ever, had a Game Boy Advance. Well, except for Josh, but like I know him later on, and his dad has a lot of Nintendo stuff, like a lot of old stuff. But it was like early 2007 when my friends and I decided to get a DS for Pokemon Diamond and Pearl. Today, we're going to be talking about some anomaly glitch that happened when I first got my copy of Leaf Green. I remember I had this little weird nickname for it, Glitchinine. I gave it that name because of the look of it and the name of it. Like, it looked really authentic, like it could be an actual Pokemon. And that's what had me tripped out later on when realizing that it wasn't. I remember I was wandering around Route 11 trying to beat all the trainers in the area when I encountered it. Its name was NO.9. At first I thought it was an actual Pokemon and shrugged it off. And let me tell you, I did that a lot as a kid, very dangerously. At one point, we'll get into that another time. I casually run away from the glitch, assuming it was a Pokemon, and battled two more trainers in the area before it appears again. The fact that it came back a second time still chills me to this day. Like, I'm not sure if it is a glitch now, just thinking about it. I was actually thinking about making a creepypasta about it. The second time I saw it, I was actually considering adding it to my team, so I asked my friend who was also playing Pokemon with me at the time. He replied back with, "Oh, I haven't seen that Pokemon yet." I found that to be very understandable since he was on the same badge as I was and was only a little bit ahead of me. Since we both didn't know what this Pokemon was capable of, and I didn't want to know what this Pokemon was capable of until I had some information about it, we decided to go to my friend's house down the street who has beat the game and know all the Pokemon. It did come to my surprise when I found out that he hasn't seen the Pokemon either. Now this made me very excited to catch it because that means I can catch a Pokemon none of my friends have caught before. And he's already beat the game, I've already lost that, at least I can catch something that he hasn't. I remember battling this thing was worse than Bugsy's Scyther because of all the random moves it had. It had just a bunch of random variety moves to its advantage that could take out a large pretty amount of Pokemon, and it was hard for me to pinpoint what type of Pokemon it was because of the moves. When I finally got it weak enough to catch, I threw a Pokeball at it, and I was presented with a text saying, "Do not be a thief." And I was really confused about this, like, I'm pretty sure it's a wild Pokemon. There are no trainers around me for this to be a trainer's Pokemon. When I got that text, I immediately assumed that the game was glitching and took Leaf Green out of my Game Boy and began on blowing it. Looking back at it now, I remember finding Leaf Green in a pretty sketchy manner. I remember originally owning Fire Red, but getting it confiscated by a teacher during lunch. What an asshole, right? I found the copy of Leaf Green in an old abandoned apartment from where, and I quote, "these weird people had lived." When my friends and I decided to go check out the house 2 days after they moved out, what we found was like a huge mess. Spoiled food, a flooded sink, some cable wires all over the floor, some trash, some old receipts, and a bunch of distorted video games. I immediately started grabbing a bunch of the video games I seen on the floor, as I seen that as a gold mine. There was a bunch of GameCube games, and I had nothing but a GameCube and the Game Boy Advance SP at the time. Most of the games that I found were all broken. Like, the only ones that weren't broken was Legend of Zelda Collector's Edition, Naruto, and an extra copy of Paper Mario The Thousand Year Door. Then we headed to the other room where we found a bunch of Game Boy games. I got Sims 2, Dragon Ball Boost Fury, and then Pokemon Leaf Green. But where I found Pokemon Leaf Green was a very, very special place. We found it in an extra room in the back. Now, I'm saying extra room because none of us have this extra room in our apartments. Since none of us had this extra room in our apartments, we were all pretty scared to go in there and didn't go in there for a couple of days, but one of us decided to muster up the courage to get all of us to go in there because eventually we knew the maintenance men were going to clean that place up and then lock it up for the next people to live in that place. What we found was nothing but black darkness and abyss because there was no light whatsoever in that room. No light would shed in there. It was like God said, "Let there be light," and that room said, "Maybe next time." Okay, in all seriousness, when we finally got a flashlight and went back in that room, what we found were pedals with a bunch of broken stuff in it. We tried to salvage as much as we could, but in the end, all I got was a half-ass GameCube controller and Pokemon Leaf Green. When I put my Leaf Green back into my Game Boy, I didn't expect to never see No 9 again. I was wandering in the tall grass for 4 hours that day, and I never found him again. To be honest, I completely forgot about No 9 entirely until my friends and I started playing Pokemon, and I got to Route 11 again and casually wondered if I would see him again. Well, that's it for this episode.